let's start recording. All right. Hi, lovely. Lovely to see you again. I'm sure Erik
Hi,
is...
Gita.
Namaste, Erik. How are you, Professor?
Erik is like dancing.
The Indian dance, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's always cheerful. Okay, all right. So, lovely. Today, we would like to connect with Vishnu, Lord Vishnu's energy, please.
Okay. Let me see. Erik is like this. I'm trying to, get his energy. Okay, so I don't know. I've told you, Gita, that I'm very bad at mythology, Hindu mythology, although I was brought up a Hindu. So I'm getting a very similar kind of energy, similar to Shiva.
Oh.
But to a more, if I have to put into human terms, to a more masculine form.
Okay.
And it's as good as I'm seeing. I always do this. I'm just asking for a confirmation that it's, I want to make sure that it is not the image that I have imbibed in me since I was child raising in the, when I was raised and read in the books. So he's nodding. So is Vishnu ever depicted blue in color?
Always. In fact, that's one of my questions.
Okay.
I wonder why that color.
So I didn't know that because I thought maybe blue statues are of Krishna or Shiva.
Shiva too.
I never knew. Okay. So he has come forth like a blue human, very human-like, very humanly rather. He has long hair. And he's like showing me, it's almost, it's very interesting. I'm closing my eyes so that, I can get a clear image. It's almost like he's zooming into each part of his face, his jewelry. He is wearing that Rudraksha, chains of that.
Yeah.
Like the beads are Rudraksha on both arms. And he has he has a strong build. And he's wearing, he's mostly showing, now Erik is laughing when I say those things, you know why. But no, I'm not going into all those things, but he's showing me his chest up. And I think he's wearing sort of like a dhoti or a pale color wrap around.
Like what we call the panjakacham, the one that gets wrapped around the legs.
It's not like a silk kind of thing. It's a very cottony, a very simple fabric.
Okay.
That's why he's not even giving so much importance. So I'm not being shown that much.
Yeah.
More focus is on the upper body,
and
I don't want to miss on the details. So he has Rudraksha mala, we say with chain, no?
Yeah.
That and it's wrapped multiple times.
Okay.
And I can see 2 tight wraps here and almost many, it's almost like, multiple
layers.
Chains have been thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple layers.
Okay.
At least 5 layers.
Wow.
With long ones.
Any significance for all those layers?
Rudraksha has a certain kind of energy, he says.
True.
I don't know how that works, but he says Rudraksha keeps you sane. Mentally, he says.
Stable.
He's also mentioning grounding.
Okay.
Grounding. I know that Rudraksha has certain benefits, like crystals and all. Yeah. I've seen people wear it for various reasons, but I didn't know that personally.
Yeah.
And he's also mentioning the trees. Rudraksha, if I'm not wrong, it's a seed of a tree, right?
I think
what
so.
Is it
yeah.
actually?
It's
so
seed,
he's mentioning, obviously, he's from the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like he himself picked up the beads.
Okay, and made them
he's
into.
showing me a huge tree. I've never seen a Rudraksha tree, where it comes from. I have no idea, Gita. But he's showing me like leaves fallen, and on top of that, these seeds have fallen. And he's, wow. He's almost showing me like he's like, oh, this is
stringing
like
them
fruit.
together, stringing them together.
And before that, it's almost like rotten fruits are on the floor. I don't know where it exactly, if it's a seed or it grows as it is. We'll have to do some research.
Yeah, usually they don't drop dry like that, I presume. Like neem tree fruits.
Something.
Neem tree fruits, yeah, something fleshy surrounding it, and probably you'd have to, like even almond fruits, you may have to remove the fleshy parts in order to get at the stony part.
So that's what he was showing me, like, peeling it. And then, and he is almost, he has made like on his lap, he's like, like a part of fabric. He's just using it as a carry bag. Okay. Collecting everything. He's just showing me how he made that for himself.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't expect this to come up. However, I'd like to ask more questions about Rudraksh. So it's generally believed that each Rudraksh, some of them have, we call them Ekamukhi, meaning one-faced one, two-faced Rudrakshas, five-faced ones, which are the commonest I've understood, six-faced, seven-faced, eight-faced, 12-faced, 18-faced, meaning there are ridges on the outside of that Rudraksh, of that seed.
Yes.
And if you count
like carvings.
Yeah,
right?
carvings. Yeah, so each number has a different beneficial effect on the human body or the aura, I've been told. Is that true? For example, I'm not sure.
Me asking, I think according to that, even the price differs, like how carrots for gold or metal. Yeah. Okay, so I'm asking about the benefits. He says yes. But he's denying the fact. Okay, so he'll go elaborate on that. He's denying the fact. Okay, they're giving me things so fast. He says that the carvation doesn't change the benefit. Whether it's a Panchamukhi Rudraksh or like one-faced or five-faced or whatever, the benefit is the same.
Okay.
It's more commercialized.
Oh, okay. So people would pay more for the more faces.
So maybe the idea came with somebody who saw it, and he says it's even the beauty doesn't differ. He says,
true that.
And he's saying it's almost like how our palm, the lines are on our palm,
different,
like the fingerprint. It's like that, and no two Rudraksha are similar in the design.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. I do have. I picked up quite a few Rudrakshas when I was in Nepal, Kathmandu. So well, I should probably use them more often. So the basic.
Erik is like all dolled up with all Rudraksha jewelry.
Okay,
like so many maybe he even has the earrings.
He's now excited. Okay, he's now excited. Yeah, since it has a grounding effect, why not? I think I should use them more often.
I have to share this because it's very funny. Then we can quickly jump into the next question, Geeta. He says it's for people who are all over the place. I want to be grounded, so I'm like covering myself.
It's definitely for me.
Yeah,
it's definitely for me.
Spiritually funny.
It's for me, for sure. Okay, so again on the topic of Rudraksh, well, people believe that the smaller the size, the more the benefits. Is that true, or does size not matter?
Okay, so this is Vishnu telling. He's saying there is a time period when it takes the full form. When maybe the fruit ripens or something of that sort, that it is fully formed. once it is fully formed, it has its benefits.
Oh.
It doesn't matter whether it is like a fully grown, but still the size is smaller.
Mm.
So once it reaches a certain, like
maturity.
how he says, like how we harvest crops.
Yes, when it's ready. Mm.
Yes.
When it's ripe.
So
ripe.
The wheat, when it is harvested,
yeah,
different grains might be different in size sometimes, but they are all ready.
Ripe and ready. Okay,
and ready.
I get it. Yes, I've got tons of them. I'm going to use them for grounding. Okay, all right. So now, Vishnu, you know your followers, Vaishnavites, they believe that you are source, you are God, the supreme being. And what led them to believe that you are source or the supreme being? Did you possess any superhuman qualities when you were on the earth plane, or did you perform any miracles?
He says, well, I am, aren't you?
Oh, of course, no, but we are a tiny fragment of God, but not source, it's himself, herself, themselves, whatever. But people believe, Vaishnavites believe you are the ultimate source, Param Jyoti. You and I are fragments.
I don't know if Vishnu is considered the creator, like how
no,
Shiva
he's the
is considered
preserver. Yeah, we'll come to that.
Okay.
Vishnu, in the Hindu Trinity, the trilogy, I don't know if I should call it trilogy or trinity of the three entities. Vishnu, you are the preserver, and Brahma is the creator.
Brahma is the creator.
Yeah. Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is the destroyer. And so why have you been attributed that role as that of a preserver?
He's actually, now I remember the conversation we had to Shiva, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
That this is all about the cycle. So he's actually giving me something very similar to that. I was shown that it doesn't matter, like, you know, this is like, it's not how it works, he says. Like, this is my work and I will be taking care of preserving. He's talking about the energy exchange that is constantly happening between humans, aliens, source, you know, and source trying to get an experience of physical life from people trying to understand their soul. So this is all preserving what is happening.
Okay.
So if you ask me if I'm the only one who is taking care of preserving the whole thing, I cannot say yes.
Okay.
So maybe it was again a man-made concept.
Okay.
To understand, that's what he's giving me. Yeah. Okay. But if you ask, yes, he's definitely, just like all of them, like mostly what we got from others, Gita, that he says he's part of the source, just like anybody else, just like you and me.
But not the source, as Vaishnavites would like to believe. Okay. And also we learned that Brahma is just a concept. He is no entity. He did not take any human form on the earth plane, right?
He's giving me a very similar kind of thing for like how he is. Even Brahma has taken birth as a human is what I'm getting. Also as energy, also as thought forms.
Okay, so he is okay, kind of real. Okay, not kind of, really real. Okay, did you and Shiva incarnate at the same time on the earth plane simultaneously? Did your paths ever cross?
So here it becomes interesting. If you ask if me, Shiva, Brahma, or anyone, anybody, if we talk Ganesh or Muruga or Shakti, if you ask, are we separate? We are not.
Yeah, again, we are one.
It's like taking forms and but we are sort of like, he's using it's very interesting, he's using the term phases of consciousness. We are this big consciousness, which takes the phase of a preserver sometimes a destructor, which is actually being done by we humans or the other entities living with us. It's like a collective consciousness. So if you ask whether we were, it's like very confusing to me also, Gita. It's almost like it's not that two humans taking birth in different planets. That's not how it ever worked. If I'm making any sense. I'm trying to give, yeah, you can go ahead if you have any doubts. Maybe that's for clarity.
Yeah, I presume these different aspects were present simultaneously in the universe as different parts of the whole, as different parts of the collective consciousness.
And Erik is chiming in like, I can thank 50 people at a single time, like the word omnipresent.
Yes.
But it's more than that.
Okay.
You know, yeah, it's just not being present, it's experiencing, and yeah, so it's a vast concept which might not fit into our human minds.
I know, I understand. All right, okay. Is Lakshmi, was she your consort when you walked the earth plane, Lakshmi?
I'm writing it down, so they're giving me something in writing. Yes and no, he says. So he has walked the earth plane multiple times, but she was not always, Erik is like, she was not always around. So, yeah,
I love a sense of humor. Yeah, okay. So Lakshmi is considered to be another form of Shakti. Would that be correct? And Shakti and Shiva merged themselves, their souls, to become Ardhanarishwara.
I'm not getting an exact, I should say an exact yes for Lakshmi being an entity in general. It's almost like when it began that the physical experience needed a tool, which was money or wealth, you know, like a tool where, like, when people were not okay with only exchanging energy, there was a need for something tangible. Then money came in. I mean, after the barter system. So it was the whole concept of we not having the power. We need some god to worship. Like there were gods for rains.
I know. Yeah, we gave our power away.
Yes. So that's how the whole concept of Lakshmi was created. Like there is this goddess who gives us money.
Yes.
Or,
okay.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not getting a yes for she being an entity in gender.
Okay. Yeah. So probably like Saraswati, she only exists in the consciousness of the human mind.
Yes. Like Saraswati is for knowledge, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Shakti is for real. We've interviewed her. Okay. So the name of his consort in one of his incarnations was Lakshmi. Was it a name for his wife?
He was she. Okay, so he's actually this thing is like very much confused. We are gonna get some interesting comments this time, Gita. You know, check out the medium, because he is actually at one place he says that she was not an entity. At the same time, when we are asking about So he's sort of giving almost, I'll explain what exactly I've got.
Mm.
When she was with him in a physical life, she wasn't Lakshmi, to say so. Maybe later in some form, this whole consciousness came in, which actually didn't take a human or an entity form, but it was similar. One fragment of that was taken from this being who was once his wife, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
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 All right. Okay. I get it, sort of. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of it is shrouded in mystery still, but I still get it.
Erik is being very animated. He's like,
he can't understand because he in his past life at least he was not a Hindu, probably in one of his earlier
he
lifetimes.
can understand. I mean, yeah, there's nothing that he cannot understand, but he's actually making fun of me that so many concepts. And
I know.
see,
It's
this is
our
what Erik
upbringing.
always
Yeah.
says.
Yeah. For us, it's quite clear.
However, yes, the words fall short. So for me also, sometimes it becomes very difficult because they're showing certain visuals, which I try to depict.
And you can't put it in the right words.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did he really take, it's believed that he took 9 avatars and his 10th avatar is yet to be born. So when they say that, does it mean that like you and I took thousands of incarnations, reincarnations, his 9 special avatars are being referred to?
If you're asking what these
Avatars.
Okay, so how does avatar work? Are they like different lifetimes spent by a single energy?
Yeah, exactly.
Or do they
I think to
exist
begin with, he was a fish, and then he was a tortoise. Tortoise. He was a tortoise, and then a boar. And
I'm getting he took rebirth, if that's what avatars are. His energy, his soul took birth in various forms a couple of times, but not 9 is what I got.
Okay. How about Krishna? Is Krishna, we have interviewed Krishna. Is Krishna one of his avatars as is believed to be?
Yes. I don't know what we had got did we as a question, but right now I'm getting a yes.
Yes. Did is Ram one of his avatars? Ram of Ramayana.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. In this context, I'd like to know if Hanuman is real. The monkey god. Ask Erik.
He says, you be specific because everything is real and nothing is real.
No, the monkey god, Hanuman. You remember in Ramayana, he was so devoted to
If you're wanting to know, sorry, he says, if you're wanting to know if he was a being, yes, he was.
He was a being, but he was not a monkey.
He was an ape-like being is what I got.
Oh, okay. We'll interview him then. Okay. How about his 10th avatar? It's believed that Kalki will soon incarnate on the earth plane. Is it likely? Has it already? I mean, some people believe it has happened already.
Erik says, been there, done that. She's already come and she's been here. And you know what? It's interesting because like Geeta, we've been taught that there is this Kali Yuga, or it's still coming. I've been hearing this like the shift happening from past many years.
True.
But it's not like how like this ending of an era, we would feel it, we won't.
Yeah, true.
Because it's like blending into another beginning.
It's very smooth. Yeah.
It's smooth and it's going on and it's up. It goes up and down even during that era. It's not like suddenly there is so much bad in the world and suddenly
then it comes to an end and then something new is born. Okay. Yes. Yeah. All right. So how about Balaji?
And they just want to clarify Kalki isn't a being, if you wanted to know.
Okay. So what is it?
It was like maybe a creative creation by.
He'll come on horseback, probably a white horse with a sword. And
no, it wasn't a being is what I'm getting. It was almost like a thought form created by humans because they felt, again, giving power to something.
Yes.
They felt like when there will be like too much chaos, too much bad, too much negativity, there will be some bigger power because
external
power
will come and redeem the good ones. After.
Right. So obviously all the other gods are busy, Erik says. So let me make a new name. I mean,
Interesting.
It sounds ridiculous, but that's what happened is what I'm getting.
I know. Okay. Is Balaji or Lord Venkateshwara of Tirupati, which is in Andhra Pradesh, is he the same energy as Vishnu?
You want to know the god that is being worshipped in Tirupati?
Is the same as Vishnu.
He says it began like that. That makes sense. I'm asking
yeah.
This is actually sad, and I don't know if this could get controversial, but initially I was getting these things, but I was trying not to say because I was feeling it was very personal to me. I mean, it's my ego speaking. But then I'm getting something very similar. If I'm not wrong, Gita, Tirupati is one of the most commercialized temples.
It's true that.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it is, okay, a lot of controversies. Whether it is the whole hair donation.
Yes.
I don't
they
know.
Make money out of that. Yeah, they make money out of the hair donated there.
They make huge
wigs.
money out
they
of
make
that.
Wigs.
Wigs, right? Which is a known thing. There are other things which are not known. And the money that is put into the whole worshipping doesn't solve the purpose when there are so many
I know, people starving.
Yes, I was not getting the word.
I've often said this to my friends. God doesn't want 108 pots full of milk. God doesn't want all that gold and the diamonds and everything in which these pujaris, the priests, dress him or her up in. God doesn't like all those things. God would be much happier if we went out and gave that milk to the poor or gave that money or clothes to the poor. Yeah, yes. I personally believe.
Vishnu says it's fine as long as he's talking about idol worship in general. It's fine as long as you are giving energy to a rock idol. And just thinking, just like how we worship crystals, but crystals have energy, but after a point, even a rock idol gets energy through thought forms, constant belief. So it's fine because there is a group of people coming in, so the energy grows. But to what extent? People standing in huge queues for hours, leaving all the work that has been given by Saint Vishnu or the god that they are worshipping.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's why he said it began like that. So he was worshipped, and that's how maybe the whole, I don't know how ancient is the temple.
So it was him in that place who was worshipped.
Yes, I mean the person. I don't know if it was a body of members or one person, but the god or the being that was started to be worshipped was Vishnu.
Vishnu. All right. Okay. So, what led to him being worshipped? Did he have, like Christ? Did he perform miracles, or did he just meditate and teach people how to focus on God, how to go inwards? What quality of his led to him getting deified?
Wow, it was almost like a shrine, if that makes sense. Like he was this human, he was walking around in this human form, and his forte was strength.
His forte was,
strength,
yeah.
and that's why he has this masculine.
The physical stamina.
Yes.
Okay.
And he used to be like many other ancient beings that we've talked about, which are mentioned in the mythology. He used to, it was more or less jungle and very few people initially. And he actually started as a guru, to say so.
Okay, guru. So
setting examples.
Yeah.
He was good at, okay, so his energy was all about, there's nothing impossible.
Okay, yeah.
Which happened, something similar happened with Christ, right?
Yes, yeah.
Actually, they were
Christ
not like
was all
miracles or
about
magic.
Unconditional love to even those who hurt you. Yeah.
And yes, so here is another thing that he was all about, pleasure.
Okay.
He showed me, I don't know if that's Vishnu, that Ananda Shayanam we say.
Yes, lying on the Seshnag, the 1,000-headed serpent.
Yes.
Reclining on that, a 1,000 head. It's supposed to have 1,000 heads. Again, what's the significance of reclining on that? Relaxing?
He is almost like a worry-less being. Like,
yes, yeah.
Erik
Without
says,
a care in the world.
Erik says, do your shit and just forget about it.
Actually, my husband does that. Yeah.
And it's always better than not running away from your responsibilities and just, be,
Okay, so he believed in that, huh? To just do your duty. Yeah, basically the Bhagavad Gita is all about Kadmanyeva adhikara haste ma paleshu kadachana. Do your duty and don't worry about the results. Yeah. All right. Okay. Why is Tulsi holy to Vishnu or Krishna? Tulsi, the holy basil.
Okay, so I don't know if it's mentioned in any of the old texts, but when he was rather a guru or the preacher, or when people used to come to him for advice, there was some sort of plague or a flu.
Oh, okay.
In which so he always gave them personal advice, which he learned accidentally living in the woods.
Okay.
So he knew that chewing on to tulsi leaves
had some medicinal properties.
Herbal benefits, and it builds your immunity, it heals the body.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole he tried making the concoction and giving it to the people, and it healed people. So again, whichever heals, whichever helps, the power goes away, and you start worshipping even the herb as a being.
True. So they now offer it back to him. Okay, thank you for giving it to us. We give that right back to you. Okay, in gratitude. Okay, so basically these are the questions that I have. Is there, and again, he started off with his blue color. What is the significance of showing himself in blue?
So it's very difficult, Geeta, when you have partial knowledge of the things that you're actually asking me. I'm talking about myself. Like I told you, like I'm not good at mythology, but I still have pictures and things. So it's very difficult for me to, keep my ego away and just, so I'm like, that's why I'm taking some time when I'm answering your question. So he is talking about a snake bite.
Okay.
In the jungle, which turned him blue.
Okay, fair enough.
But I guess he's associated with snakes and stuff, even in mythology, right?
Yes, definitely. He's supposed to be lying, reclining on that snake all coiled up and it's got 1,000 heads.
Okay.
I think the
So
name is
here
Seshnag.
Yeah, here is his story. Like obviously he was living in the jungle. So he said a couple of snake bites. Some were very subtle. Like maybe the poison, the venom was not that strong that it would kill him. And it is a fact that if a person constantly is
we develop anti-venom to the
the body starts not reacting to it in a bad way. So it happened with him, and he was all about I told you, like, the strength and stamina and all what your body can do, and nothing is impossible. It was all about, like, that's why, and they're giving me so much. So he was all about, like, nothing can defeat you, even a disease, even a snake. That's why he's been shown on a large scale, snake, and
even 1,000 of them cannot kill him.
Yes. So, which is a fact, because it's all in the mind. So he was that kind of energy. And he said, actually, but it happened due to the multiple bites, his body had started getting, the color had started becoming bluish.
Okay.
So this was real.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
And it reached a point where he could heal people with snake bites, because he had done so much. He says, I was my own guinea pig.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
So now he can be considered an ascended master, right, Vishnu?
You can say that.
Okay. So then his responsibility would be that of a spirit guide, right?
Yes.
What exactly do spirit guides do? How do they help their mentees? Because I can hardly communicate with my spirit guide. I'm sure Erik is trying to help me, but I can hardly understand the way they communicate with me. So if we cannot understand them, how are they going to help their mentees? I'm sure he's one of my spirit guides. I know it for a fact. That's why my interest.
No, so he's asking me to ask you, do you need tools to understand them, or what exactly do you want? What do you want
in which a human mind can understand the messages that they're giving me. Do this, don't do that. Like, write me an email every day, I'm kidding, or a text message every day.
Yes. So this is what Vishnu and Erik simultaneously giving me. You need to turn the switch off, which means it's very difficult, which means the filters, the blocks that we've been conditioned with. You need to undo that to start receiving messages, to understand messages, to make sense of messages. Like, for instance, time, pace.
Meditation, calming the mind.
Yeah, meditation and mentally doing it repetitively. But you're talking about a lot of things, Geeta. We think there's something, and this is even me talking, even though I do what I do, but still, Erik always tells me, you are not able to see me because you feel you cannot see me. I mean, I don't see him with the naked eye. I can see him otherwise. Because there's still a filter that tells me maybe this might spook me, or I'm a human. So we don't forget that we're humans. So they want all those conditioning to be erased, to make it easy. Otherwise, you don't need anything else. There are, like, all sorts of tools which we know, like automatic writing or meditation, or even other tools of divination.
Yeah. Okay. So does he have a message for the earthlings, people like me?
He's talking about the current scenario, the whole COVID thing, the whole pandemic. Again, his message has always been, when he was in the human form, it was all about the power within yourself.
Yes.
that you can heal yourself. Don't
True.
give the power away, which has been a very common message with many beings that has come forth, right, in our interviews, who have come forth, sorry. And he says, it's Erik also chiming in. Erik says, keep telling yourselves you are powerful.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
powerful.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
And he's talking about keep telling yourselves. I mean, the tiniest part.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the power of repetition.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you constantly know, sometimes your mind doesn't even know how
Register.
to.
Yeah.
He's talking about fear. Your mind doesn't even know how to be fearful.
Yeah.
Because it's busy doing other positive things, you know?
Okay. Yeah. So we have to get to, that extent. All right. Okay. So thank you, Vishnu. Thank you so much for sharing with us all this information about yourself. Thank you so much. And thank you, Erik. Thank you, lovely.
He is, Vishnu is, again, he's like very humbled, and they all like coming forth and having a conversation.
Okay. So thank you all. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. It was nice talking.
Bye, lovely. Bye. Take care.